Hi, in this video we're going to see together what SharePoint Online Management Shell is. In fact, it's a tool that through a command line is a feature for developers or anyone working in the IT field. It allows us, through a command line, to interact with the content, features and configurations of SharePoint Online. It's a tool that is usually used by both the SharePoint administrator to perform certain tasks and apply certain configurations, and by developers to automate things like installations or the creation of sites. All done in the same way, to perform certain tasks, apply certain configurations, both by developers to automate, for example, an installation, or to automate the creation of sites. Do them all the same way, and so on.
Sorry, I just wanted to introduce myself real quick and then I'll let you go ahead. I'm Giuseppe Marchi, I'm one of the Microsoft MVPs and I'm an expert in the technologies that revolve around Microsoft 365. So if you want updates on Microsoft's collaboration tools, the world of intranets, Microsoft 365 Copilot, SharePoint, Teams and all the other tools, subscribe to the channel.
To start using this solution, simply type SharePoint Online Management Shell into your search engine and you will arrive at this Microsoft page where you can download the product and install it on your computer. You need to choose your preferred language. This is very important because all error messages or informational messages provided by the various commands within the scripts you run in the command line will return text in the language you select. So please make sure to choose the right language, click on download and it will download a file for you to install. Once installed, you will effectively have the libraries of the SharePoint Online Management Shell at your disposal. Why is it useful to use this library? Because you should know that SharePoint Online allows administrators or power users to utilize most of its features through a graphical interface. However, there are many other features that are actually not present in the graphical interface, and the only way to access, use and configure them is through the command line, specifically through our SharePoint Online Management Shell. Okay, to start using this command line shell, there is the option to follow this section of the documentation. That explains how to check if the SharePoint Online Management Shell has been installed on your computer, how to install it. The SharePoint Online Management Shell is used through PowerShell, and in fact, every module in PowerShell must be installed before it can be used. With this command, you can install it either for all users on your computer or for specific users. Once you have installed it, you also have the option to request and check for updates from Microsoft regarding the library. This is because SharePoint Online continues to add features over time, and consequently, the SharePoint Online Management Shell is updated accordingly. So here you can either return to the page we just saw and re-download the new package, delete it from your computer and reinstall it, or simply use this command line to update the library. Having done this, we need to connect to SharePoint Online before performing any type of action or configuration. To do this, the command connexpo service is used, specifying the address of the SharePoint Online administration area that we want to connect to, and especially with which account. In this case, an account is required that has at least the role of SharePoint Online Administrator, or the role of Global Administrator is also acceptable. Once this command is launched, the classic user experience will begin, prompting for the password, confirming identity through two-factor authentication, and so on. Having done this, I am connected to the SharePoint Online Administration area and can execute one of the many commands available within the SharePoint Online Management Shell. You can find the list of these commands in the Microsoft documentation, and here you can see that you can really perform any activity available in the SharePoint Online Administration area. One of the commands I often use for creating our intranet portals with Intranet AI is the add theme command. This gives us the opportunity to add a custom theme within SharePoint Online sites, allowing us to use the company's colors and branding in the SharePoint sites we create. And this is the only way to add a custom graphic theme using the SharePoint Online Management Shell. Just as I can create a custom theme with this tool, I also have the ability to check a user's permissions, delete a site, create a new document library, and so on. All these commands that we are quickly going through allow us to create automation scripts for the content, configurations, or structures of SharePoint Online. Well, with this video, I wanted to give you an overview of the SharePoint Online Management Shell, its uses and benefits, and especially how to get started using it. See you in the next video.